Now to our London cross. If businesses could become more sustainable, it could make the global economy $12 trillion better off by 2030. $2 trillion of those savings could come from companies being more resource efficient with their manufacturing. Those are the findings of a new study by the Business and Sustainable Development Commission. A new website is being launched today in London to help businesses achieve those savings. The website is an online collaboration platform. It's called Manufacture 2030 and it's been set up by the International 2 Degrees Business Network. Their CEO, Martin Chilcott, joins us live from the London Stock Exchange. Martin, thanks for joining us. $2 trillion in efficiency savings is a pretty significant figure. If there's so much potential to be made from resource efficiency in manufacturing, why are businesses not seizing it with both hands?
Good evening, John. Yeah, good question. It's not that they're not doing anything. So, on average, factories are improving their resource efficiency. So that's materials, parts, energy, waste, water, by about 1% per annum, year on year. But best in class are doing about 8%. So there's a lot of money being left on the table still, as you can see. The problem is mainly around scale. So if you're a big brand or you're a retailer, 80% of this opportunity lies not in your operations, but across your supply chain with thousands, if not tens of thousands, of different companies. And working with them is just very complex and very difficult. And then secondly, if you're a manager...
You go.
If you're a manager... Sorry, John, go on.
You say that your Manufacture 2030 website is an online collaboration platform. For someone watching now, how does it actually work? How can it help their businesses to become more efficient and save money?
Yeah, so if imagine you are you're a business that's thinking about these issues, you're probably not confident that you've got the knowledge and the insight and the tools to confidently address the hundreds of thousands of opportunities across your factory that you need to get your part of it. And so therefore you don't prioritise it. So what Manufacture 2030 does is it helps you get the knowledge you need, helps you prioritise it, and helps you take action with confidence. And it does it really in two ways. So one, it enables the retailers and the brands to engage their suppliers in very large numbers and make it a priority for them. And then secondly, it helps the operational managers by bringing together tens of thousands of these engineers across all of the different companies, and it gives them the tools, the collaboration tools, to share their knowledge, their insight, their case studies, in order that they can build up a collective knowledge, harness it for their individual needs. And we know this is very powerful, that this approach to harnessing a collective knowledge can solve 80% plus of the problems that any one supplier has.
Now, quite a few companies have already signed up to be part of Manufacture 2030. Who's already on board?
Well, we're launching this evening, so it's only just starting, but we've already got a major grocery retailer, the Co-op, who are bringing 600 of their food manufacturing suppliers. We've got the business solutions arm of the energy company npower, who are bringing their manufacturing customers. We've got William Jackson Food Group, who are bringing their suppliers. And most importantly, I think we've probably got Mars Inc., who are bringing their factories.
Now, today's businesses operate in a very competitive world. How are you getting all those companies and individuals to collaborate and share information like that?
Yeah, great question. And you might be surprised to know it's probably not as difficult as you instinctively think. The big companies, the retailers and the major brands, have already come to the conclusion that it's in everybody's interest to make their supply bases more sustainable, and that the only way they can do it is by working together. So they're up for it. And then down in the individual factories, the people that we work with on the platform are the engineers. And engineers are collaborative by nature. They just want to solve problems. And so long as they're recognised for what they do, they're delighted to participate.
At 2 Degrees, you've done online collaboration like this before. But on a smaller scale, what kind of companies have done this online collaboration before, and how much money have they actually saved?
Yeah, so we've run programs like this for companies like Tesco, Asda Walmart, GlaxoSmithKline, Unilever's tea business. But these are single client programs with their supply chains. But we've also tracked the benefits across those programs, and we can measure over $100 million worth of savings being made by the suppliers on things like energy, waste and water efficiencies. So it's significant.
Now, how is Manufacture 2030 different from what you've done before?
Well, so this time, with Manufacture 2030, we're bringing supply chains together onto one platform. So it's not just one supply chain, it's multiple supply chains from multiple manufacturing industries, which gives us much more diversity and much more scale. We get many more engineers with a wider range of experiences and expertise that becomes part of this collective intelligence that we can harness. So we'll be able to address more problems and generate more answers and create more value.
Now, you have a lot of industries and companies sharing their money-saving solutions on this website. When a new business user goes onto the site, how do you ensure they don't get overwhelmed? How do you make it easier for them to take the solutions and actually implement them?
That's a great question, because it's one of the big lessons from those individual programs that we used to run. So we're launching with Manufacture 2030 a new collaborative software tool called the M2030B tool. And it enables an individual operational manager in a particular factory to identify exactly what the opportunities are for their factory, to understand what actions they need to carry out, prioritise those actions, and then it links them into a set of resources, data, case studies, sheets, and critically into people like them who have already done it or are currently doing it, who are prepared to help them answer questions and give them the confidence to act.
How will businesses benefit from participating in this, Martin? What kind of savings could they possibly get?
So the retailers and the big brands, by engaging their suppliers like this, will be able to prioritise cutting costs and risks within that supply chain. So it'll reduce costs across the supply chain, across the supply base, but it'll make it more resilient and build trust in there as well. Inside the individual companies, this will be the quickest way that a manager gets access to the knowledge that they need in order to make these savings. And if you think about that 1% figure I mentioned earlier, that's what they're doing on average. If we can get factories up to 7% per annum improvements in resource efficiency, then we could be halving the resources they're using over 10 years. And that's, that's an ambitious target to think and aim for. But if we do it together, it is doable.
Final question. Is it possible for Australian companies watching now to take part and to use this resource and to use this tool?
Absolutely it is, yeah. We're delighted to have Australian companies participate who want to collaborate with their European, North American and Asian peers. All they've got to do is come to www.manufacture2030.com.
Well, Martin, we have to leave it there, but as usual, great to talk to you and keep up the great work.
Thank you very much. Great to be on again.